Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Fetch Quest podcast, where we talk about video games and more. Today is a very special episode, for we are mourning not only one of, but possibly the greatest multiplayer shooter of all time, Highguard 2026.
Gone too soon.
Gone too soon. Highguard, I already miss you. I got one of your legendary skins, and that moment touched me so much, more than Tears of the Kingdom or any of those other garbage games ever could.
Oh, your ranked mode would have been so good.
If it ever came out.
I looked at your roadmap and I was swept away by the amount of content.
In a world where we live with multiplayer games full of battle passes and generic gameplay, Highguard came in to show us what could gameplay be. It could be more, a mix of everything, some would say. Some Fortnite, some Valorant, some League of Legends even. Highguard had it all, and yet no one was there to appreciate what the beauty was there.
I would like
They
to
did
say,
everything better too. Everything no one cares about League of Legends or Valorant. We just wanted Highguard.
I would like to say I have a note from the father of the deceased, Jeff Healy, and he would just like to say a few words.
Take it away.
Highguard was truly a special game. It did everything right. It never had any mistakes. It was going to be the best game of 2026. I was going to hold it as my game of the year at my Game Awards show. But unfortunately, the world was not ready for such perfection, and so it is now gone from us. May Highguard rest in peace.
That was beautiful, Connor. I'm honestly shedding a tear right now, more than I ever did even at my own grandma's funeral.
Oh, Jeff Keighley, you knew what we all needed, and the world wasn't ready.
They hated him because he told
deserve
the
it.
truth. They hated Jeff. He was a prophet. Jeff Keighley was a prophet.
He was.
We just
And
didn't
now
know how true
we-
his words were at the time until
I
it was
couldn't
too
appreciate it.
gone. Yeah.
No, we
Here's the
could
thing.
appreciate it. The rest of the world wasn't ready. We know the masterpiece, and then they took it from us.
Okay, hold on. Misconception here. People were just really busy on the launch weekend.
You know, yeah, it wasn't that they hated the game. They didn't get the chance to play it because they just unfortunately released it at a really bad time. I think
Yeah.
if they bring it back next weekend, everyone will be ready to play it.
I was watching my neighbors fish, and I took it on a walk whenever Highguard came out. So I think next time I'll be able to play,
Yeah, exactly.
and that's why there should be a next time. They should 100% bring it back.
They need
and
to bring it back.
See, and here's the thing. I hate all these people calling it Concord 2 because of quote-unquote generic hero shooter slop. No, they don't understand. Highguard not only was better than Concord, it succeeded Concord by a couple weeks, which means it's better.
And it had mining mechanics like Minecraft.
And
Do you
it
remember
had-
anyone
Up the
talking about that for
guns.
Concord? No.
Do you guys know the main character of Concord? Because I don't, but I'll never forget Atticus. He was so beautiful. And
Atticus was the goat.
with his axe, his lightning spears. Yeah.
It was truly beyond its time. I truly believe that if Highguard had just released in a few more years, when the market wasn't so full of so many just bland, generic hero shooters and battle royales like Fortnite and Marvel Rivals.
They should have
That
taken
is-
the 100 people that were laid off to Fortnite and given them to Highguard.
Yeah.
Ooh,
The 1,000 people that were laid off, they should have gone to Highguard.
If
But
they'd been to Highguard, they would have been able to.
They would have been able to restore the
They would have been
game
able
to
to
what
do
it,
everything.
to its
They would've-
glory, man.
They would have been able to express themselves freely.
They would have had life insurance.
They would have had life insurance, yeah.
Jeff Keighley was truly a visionary.
Here's the
But-
thing. We all doubted him at first. We thought this was going to be generic. The thing is, it didn't. I, I don't even have the words for this. It blew past all expectations. It was made by some of the same people who made Apex Legends. So you knew it was going to be a good game, because Titanfall 2 is really good, and you loved Titanfall 2. But then Highguard released, and then it was amazing. I had so much
Better
fun.
than Titanfall 2.
Exactly, and it's so
Yeah,
sad
man.
because we never got to see its full potential. It was already better than Titanfall 2, which so many people loved. But again, we didn't even get ranked mode because it was taken out like Old Yeller and shot. Like, oh.
Here's how you know it's better than Titanfall 2. It had supported multiplayer for a while when Titanfall 2 still doesn't.
It's
Really?
true. This feels like how the internet reacted when Harambe died. This is like the level of disaster where like there should be
when-
political change in the world because this game got shut down.
It's because of
I
how
completely
unjust it
agree.
is. It's so
I
unjust. There needs to be
remember-
laws changed for
I
this.
remember when I first opened Highguard and played the tutorial. I was expecting something that was dull and boring and super overcomplicated, and that would have been just incredibly boring and unfun to play. But instead, I reached a third state of being. I reached nirvana when I can beat the tutorial, and now I'll never achieve that again. Highguard was my life's peak, and now I will never get it back.
There are
I
all
have
these
to agree.
shit multiplayer games like Overwatch and Marvel Rivals and
In
Valorant
Fortnite,
and Fortnite that all try to do this like weird competitive casual balance. But no, Highguard was so advanced that nobody could understand it. Nobody
it was for
understood
the
game.
people.
Nobody could understand it because you actually had to be really smart to play Highguard, and nobody was smart enough.
You had to have only a brief understanding of theoretical physics in order to understand the complexities of Highguard.
You had to be as good of a microbiologist as Ryland Grace was, and not everybody was ready for that.
Nobody was. And no
Those-
one was,
you know
we
what-
didn't have any proper architects playing the game either because no one understood how to like properly fortify their base. So a lot of people just blamed it on the game instead of looking within themselves to say, I need to learn how to be a better builder.
Guys, I think in order to truly appreciate the memory of what was, we need to look back at Highguard and what are some of our favorite moments. I would like to go first.
You can go first.
Go
I need
first,
a moment to
Connor.
collect myself anyways.
I completely understand, Brewer. This is a hard time for us all. But I think when looking back at it, one of my favorite moments of Highguard that I just had the most fun with was when you would use your ultimate and it would just do jack shit. It truly was such a commentary on the current state of multiplayer games that instead of having to rely on these ultimate abilities to do lots of damage or do something incredible, you have to rely on yourself and your own skill in order to just be better than the enemy team. Why rely on your cooldowns? Why rely on your abilities that take 60 seconds to recharge for each one, even if they were bad? You alone should be able to carry yourself to victory. And I truly appreciate Highguard's commitment to that commentary, and I think it was truly ahead of its time.
Amen, brother. Amen. Those are words of wisdom. I think for me, another part that a lot of us just couldn't understand, like the vision that these amazing people had with their game, is just whenever you brought over the Shieldbreaker and invaded the base, if you failed at I'm sorry, I need to collect myself. I'm still having a hard time saying it. If you failed at taking one of the enemy's points, your team would lose the same amount of points as well. So I just think that's not even something I think most people can conceive because of how genius it is. It's something that I think we'll only see in like multiple generations to come because it's generational talent, you know? to design
do
it
know.
in that way to where you're punishing both sides, even though one side maybe did something a little better.
That's so true and valid, Brewer. With my many hours in the game, with what I had time for, I can relate to what you just said because I know what you're talking about. My personal favorite part about it was the formatting of 3v3 and the map sizes because I think that those were so well designed because you had these massive maps that were like sprawling and you had to get on horses or on mounts. Sorry, they weren't all horses in order to get around, and it was so fun to spend like 90% of the game not doing team fights because you were just having to get from place to place because it just made you take in every single moment. Whenever you're traversing from place to place, it's just like letting you sit with your thoughts, to strategize, to take in the beauty of the game, the beauty of the character design, the design of the world. It was so beautiful.
Oh, those are beautiful words, Liam, because, a lot of people complain about the inspiration many games of this generation have taken from, like, Breath of the Wild and their mechanics, but I didn't see a single soul complaining about it in Highguard being the first hero shooter to really do that at all, because, like you were saying, there's so many beautiful views to take in before you start fighting with your enemies. It makes you care that much more about the land you're defending with your life.
Yes, because it's got such a rich story that I know so much about. All the characters are so interwoven lore-wise, I think.
I'm gonna miss Una, the, like, grass fucker. I'm gonna miss them so much.
I'm gonna miss Kai, the ice guy.
I'm gonna miss Scarlet so much, and Redmayne, the guy from the tutorial I played.
And Condor, who's like Lily
from Street Fighter. You're right.
But sorry, no, Lily's like Condor because Condor was like way cooler.
Yeah, that is true. Good point. Make sure not to diss our goats.
Personally, I'm gonna miss Mara and Una the most. I think they were the best heroes.
Personally,
see, that's the thing.
I'm gonna miss them all the most, actually.
Beyond any heroes, I'm gonna miss my mounts. Characters.
Ooh. Now that's a good one. See, we talk about it now because Highguard had such memorable characters. Like with my favorite memory, Una, my main. That's her name. Yeah, Una. She has the ability to where she can basically give you and your allies extra HP for a little bit of time, and her ult was basically just another spawn point, which made it really easy to bombard the enemy team and actually farm wins very quickly. It was quite awesome, I must say. But I think with Una, my favorite part of the entire game was winning the whole game by just taking the the shield breaker, yes, and just going straight into the enemy base, not even attacking them whatsoever, because every time you attack their base with the shield breaker, automatically 30 HP down, and that's okay. And it's so much fun because you definitely have a lot of options to counteract this, especially when you can increase the speed of your mount when other people cannot, which means they can very much keep up with you. There's a lot they could have done, but I outskilled them by using my brains to maneuver my horse, to making sure that I could get to the shield breaker on point. And that is one of my favorite memories of Highguard, because I got that win just solely based on skill. Nothing else. No exploits. Nothing.
Wow. That's so beautiful, Guy. I relate to you with all of my gameplay as well.
Thank you. Yes.
Personally, if the game hadn't died so soon, I would have platinumed it. I tried to, but there just wasn't enough time with such a glorious game for the stars to align for me.
Yeah, they shut the servers down for no reason, bro.
They actually, all of those people that didn't get to play the game, like, imagine all of the joy they would have gotten from playing the game that I got to play, because I definitely played the game. I was really good.
I'm so jealous of Jeff Keighley, because he got to play the game more than anyone else that wasn't on the dev team.
That's true. And that poor dev team that they poured so much time into the game just for it to get just for all those stupid idiots to say that it's buggy and messy and like kind of boring.
See, I hate the idea of making a game dead on release because it looks quote-unquote mid, when Highguard is the example of the exception, to where video games are much more than what meets the eye. Because, again, I was one of those people. I thought it was going to be generic. I thought it was going to be like dumb poopy Overwatch or Marvel Rivals. But no, I got something amazing. These are some of these people who made this game made Titanfall 2, my favorite multiplayer first-person shooter of all time. I should have had faith in them.
Not your favorite, because Highguard's your
Second favorite. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I can't believe you would say that.
Honestly, you're right. I do like Highguard more than Titanfall 2. I think it's better designed.
I think its campaign was better. I mean, it didn't have a campaign, but the character's writing was so strong with like
and it was going to get expanded upon time, yeah.
And
that it made me feel more than I ever felt with stupid BT.
Slade, guys, don't forget about Slade.
No, how do we forget about Slade?
He was so awesome.
Oh, yeah, we're already forgetting because we haven't gotten to play the game in so long.
I'll never forget it, though. It was a truly once-in-a-lifetime experience.
Yeah, you know, I don't
think I'll ever be able to experience something as peak as Highguard again. Like,
same here.
Super Mario Galaxy, whatever. Fucking Breath of the Wild, who gives a shit? I just... There's a Highguard-sized hole in my heart now.
I think Flowers for Algernon our gaming taste buds, because now that we've experienced such a high peak, now that we're having to regress and play these terrible games like Elden Ring and God of War, now everything's just gonna be terrible for us.
Yeah, and some stupid like game called like GTA 6 is coming out, and it's gonna be like the biggest game ever, but like it's not gonna be Highguard. That was the biggest game ever. It had everything anybody ever could want. There's nothing that game did bad.
I'm missing it so much.
Look, all I'm gonna say, it kept me playing.
It kept us all playing.
I don't think it's gonna be happening for GTA 6.
We all liked Highguard because we all played it. I played it.
Yeah. And for all of us as well, even though the campaign never fully released, because we won so many matches in Highguard, we're all gonna say this year that we did beat Highguard.
Yep, we all beat it. Every single one of us.
Yeah.
No one here did not beat it.
I'm gonna miss it so much.
Because we knew what was to be expected. It was heat. It was peak guard.
We all saw it at the Game Awards together, and we all went, wow, this game's gonna be great, and I could never foresee anything going wrong.
Yeah, because as everyone knows, the last reveal at the Game Awards is always a generational game that is an absolute masterpiece and flawless in every way and never generic slop.
Starfield.
Because it was the best, the last reveal. That means it's the best, right? That's how it works.
That is how that works.
They always save the best for last.
Yeah, they wouldn't not make the best reveal be the last because Jeff Keighley just really likes the game, right? They wouldn't do that. That means it just has to be a good game, and it was.
You know it.
I agree.
Well, boys, honestly, though we've given our frustrations,
I'm starting to get teary-eyed.
We've given our frustrations. We've given our frustrations. Frankly, I don't think there's any words to describe how much we miss Highguard. And so in lieu of that, I think we should just end it here.
You know, I want to say one last word for Highguard's sake, because I think everyone needs to know this. Because, you know, there's many artists like Van Gogh that they died before ever reaching the fame that they ever really deserved. Van Gogh had hundreds of paintings, and he only got popular after his death. And I think, unfortunately, the same thing is happening with Highguard. It's gone now, but give it some time, and everyone is going to be mourning the game just as we are. They're going to recognize the talent, the diamond that's stuck under all the rubble. because they just couldn't see it at the time. The genius in front of them.
I agree.
That's
Wow,
better than what I could have
Highguard.
put, man. That's yeah.
I can only hope there's a Highguard museum, sort of like the Van Gogh Museum, to honor all the work that they did in their life, and to honor how great, not just how great of a game it was, but how great as a piece of art it was.
I
So
think-
beautiful.
I think we need a moment of silence for the dearly departed.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
now that we've talked about it, boys, I don't think there's anything else to say.
I
Honestly,
say
the
we
more we
place
talk
our
about it, the-
flowers, and we have to leave. Life goes on. Unfortunately, it's a cruel and unfair world, but life goes on.
Sun Tzu said that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
something art of war.
Yeah.
I think I heard Confucius say something similar too.
Many great
But boys-
philosophers that would have also recognized Highguard in such high regard.
High regard. Fire writing. But if you guys like this kind of content and you want to see more of it, please hit the like and subscribe button. Thank you for helping us in our mourning process of potentially the greatest multiplayer game of all time, Highguard 2026. With that being said, thank you guys, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Please make
Fly
sure
high.
to
Fly high.
please make sure to donate to the Fetch Quest podcast Patreon so we can establish the Highguard Museum. Definitely not a scam.
All right. Goodbye, everyone.